Hello all, welcome to Smart Classes. In the last class, we have discussed till the announcement of 8-point formula by Indira Gandhi to satisfy the Telangana movement agitators. But what happened after the announcement of 8-point formula? What did the 8-point formula actually contain is been discussed in the last class, and how are those implemented will be discussed today. So basically, after the AP cabinet meeting, they have set up a high level committee. That actually a high level committee, two high level committees. Basically, one is for monitoring the implementation of the of the development plans of Telangana, and the other is the planning the implementation. So those two committees are known as Telangana Development Committee and Plan Implementation Committee. And also on 19th April 1969, Vanchu Committee has been appointed by the central government. This committee has been appointed to study the problems of Telangana employees and suggest a solution to the problem of the Telangana employees. And next, they have also formed a committee under Supreme Court Judge Vasishtha Bhargava. This committee was formed in order to assess the surplus funds of Telangana. According to the report submitted by this committee, 28.34 crores of surplus fund was present, which is far less than the Lalit Kumar committee's report. This basically angered the Telangana agitators more, which led to the intense Telangana movement later. On 31st May 1969, this committee submitted the report, and here's the surplus which has been estimated. And then Vanchu committee. What is the important takeaway from the Vanchu committee? We'll make a separate video on a Vanchu committee report. But here we'll just see the important takeaway. They said that no possibility to amend the constitution to implement the Mulki rules. That is, Mulki rules will not be implemented. So, because of these reasons and the failure of the 8-point formula, the Telangana agitation has been intensified. So, what happened after that? On 4th June 1969, incidents of firing took place in Telangana and 8 people died. TPS announces that death toll has been reached to 40. That is, 40 people have been died in the 1969 Telangana movement till 4th June 1969. That is, just in the 6 month span of time, 40 people were killed by the Andhra Pradesh government. From 2nd to 4th June, firing incidents indiscriminately happened, and 60 to 70 people have died. And then Prime Minister has visited Hyderabad immediately after the night of 4th June because of the firing incidents and the violence happening in the Telangana. Prime Minister Indira Gandhi came to Hyderabad on the same day night with the recommendation of Chokkarao, and Chokkarao has also accompanied her from the Delhi airport. Chokkarao was basically the president of DRC and also one of the MLA. So he accompanied her to the Hyderabad state, Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad city. Agitation continues on June 5th too, and firing takes place again at 7 places, and one death has been reported. YB Chavan, who is the Home Minister, visits Hyderabad on the suggestion of Indira Gandhi. People have expected YB Chauhan to do something in order to support the Telangana movement or impose the president's rule in Telangana. But YB Chauhan did not do anything of that sort. So, on 10th June 1969, employees and workers went on to strike. All the workers, all the important workers have also went to strike, like electricity workers. Electricity was closed for a few days, and then municipal workers who are actually necessary. Because these workers went on to the agitation, government has passed an ordinance prohibiting strike for emergency staff. That as electricity workers and municipal workers have been considered as a emergency staff, government has passed an ordinance prohibiting them to go on a strike, but they did not listen. They still went on to strike and help for the movement, that is 1969 Telangana movement, and they wanted separate Telangana. And also the industry workers who also went on to strike. And then what happened? Because all the people were in Telangana were asking for separate Telangana, Andhra rowdies were brought by CM Kasu Brahmanand Reddy. He has brought Andhra rowdies and mixed them in the Telangana agitators, and they have hurt Telangana people and also burned the huts of Telangana poor people in Hyderabad. And many atrocities have been committed by these rowdies and the police. Police would attack the common people who were doing the agitation peacefully, but not the rowdies. So this was the indiscrimination done by the Andhra people on Telangana in Telangana region. And Andhra newspapers would definitely write bad about the Telangana agitation and spill poison on the Telangana agitation. Telangana Bandh happened on 16 June. TPS has announced Bandh on 16 June, and the Bandh went on peacefully and has proved that Telangana people are agitating peacefully, but these rowdies and police have been creating the violence in this agitation. And on 17th June, it was declared as the Telangana Women's Day. 20th June 1969, Chenna Reddy and Konda Lakshman attended CWC meeting in Delhi. They have demanded president's rule and separate state, for which center denies. And on 24th June 1969, strike by Telangana prisoners in Murshidabad jail. There also Andhra employees and the other Andhra prisoners have attacked these Telangana prisoners in the Murshidabad jail, and 70 have been injured. On 25th June 1969, all of the important leaders have been arrested, which included Chennareddy Konda Lakshman. Both of them have been shifted to Rajmandri jail, and the resignation drama has been played by Kasu Brahmanand Reddy. Kasu Brahmanand Reddy has announced that he will be resigning, and he also said the governor not to accept his resignation. Telangana Bandh on 7th July, on which two of the people have died. TPS was under the presidency of Sada Lakshmi, as most of the important leaders have been arrested on 25th June 1969. Sada Lakshmi has rose to the important position during this time. On 8 July 1969, PB Raju's program for Telangana protection have been taken place. And on 12th June, Telangana Flag Day has been declared by TPS. Basically, on this day, a flag with Telangana map on it has been printed, and people carried this flag, and this day has been declared as the Telangana Flag Day. On 28th June, resignation has been submitted by all the MPs, and it has been accepted by July 14th. And 27-day long strike of non-gazetted officers has been come to an end on 16 July, which has been started on 10th July by KR Osmos, who was the non-gazetted employee or the government employee who went on to strike on 10th June, which went on till 16th July. On 25th July, MP Naran Reddy presents a proposal for parliamentary committee in Telangana. Basically, MP Naran Reddy was elected as an independent, so he presented a proposal in the assembly for parliamentary committee in Telangana, which has been eventually this has not been passed, and this has been all the independent MLAs and the opposition parties walked out of the Lok Sabha because this bill has not been passed. On 29 September 1969, that, yeah, if demand for separate Telangana was given up, then Kasu Brahmanand Reddy would resign. Kasu Brahmanand Reddy, basically the CM of Andhra Pradesh, has announced that if people of Telangana would leave the demand for separate Telangana, then he would resign. On 1st November 1969, Opposition Day has been celebrated. This is also known as Vyatireka Dinam in Telugu, and this day has been celebrated on 1st November 1969 because this is the day of formation of Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh state. This day has been declared as Opposition Day by Telangana Praja Samiti. By the end of November, Dr. Chenna Reddy announced temporary withdrawal of agitation as students lost their academic year. Students would go back, finish their academic year, and then we'll start the strike again, will start the agitation or the Telangana movement again. On 7th February 1970, B.B. Raju announced formation of Telangana United Front, which included 35 MLAs and 12 MLCs. On 23rd February, foundation stone at Gun Park for Telangana Martyr Pillar has been erected by Mayor Lakshmi Narayan. Actually, it was opposed by the police, but Mayor Lakshmi Narayan has went into the gun park secretly, stealthily, and he has laid the foundation for the Telangana Martyrs Pillar. On 5th March 1971, TPS won 10 out of 17 seats in the assembly elections. And then, sorry, in the parliamentary elections. And out of 10, 8 were influenced and they have been accepted to transfer to Congress party. Because if 10 out of 8 MLAs would get transferred to Congress party, then there will be nothing in the TPS. So Chenna Reddy has decided to merge TPS into Congress, but on few conditions. What are those conditions? The first and the foremost condition is removal of Kasu Brahmanand Reddy from CM post. And the second condition is Telangana MLAs should be in a position to take decision on statehood. That is, even after the mergers, the Telangana MLAs must be given the freedom to discuss about the separate statehood in the assembly and between themselves. Because if the new government follows all the rules and justice is done to the Telangana people, then they would not talk about the statehood or else they would talk about the statehood. This was the condition laid before the Congress to merge TPS into Congress. And then the other conditions are separate Pradesh Congress Committee for Telangana. That is, there should be two Congress committees for the state. One is for Telangana region, one is for the Rayalaseema and Andhra region. And the fourth condition is restructure Mulki agitations to help Telangana people get priority in employment. That is, as you know, Mulki rules have Mulki rules have been declared injusticiable and they would violate the Constitution of India. So he has mentioned the condition that restructure the Mulki rules so that Telangana people get priority in the employment. It's not a condition that only Telangana people should be appointed, but they should get the priority in case of jobs in Telangana region. And the fifth condition is to empower TRC, that is Telangana Regional Committee, must be given extra powers in order to help the welfare and development of the Telangana region. And then the sixth point is wipe out regional imbalances and help economic growth in the whole state, Andhra Pradesh. So, according to these conditions, on 15 September 1971, Kasubramanian Reddy has resigned, and on 24 September 1971, TPS has been merged into Congress. And on 25th September 1971, PV Narasimha Rao has been selected as the Chief Minister. Basically, out of these six conditions, only one has been fulfilled, that is resignation or the removal of the Kasubramanian Reddy and appointment of the new Chief Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. And this ends the 1969 Telangana movement, but no separate Telangana has been formed, and the movement has been ended without any very good results. So, thank you. Thank you for me. Thank you for giving this opportunity and watching the video.